Samoa Koko's obsession is with Michael Jackson this morning, but certainly he's the king of pop, and may he rest in peace. But later today at 4 p.m., on Connect FM in Takrady, 97.1, one of our sister stations here at Media General, there will be the big fat interview, Asemyi Dika, with the Professor Joshua Alabi. My own brother Henry Eliud Yankee will be hosting him 4 p.m. So if you're around the Western region someplace, tune in and catch that conversation. But now let's have a conversation with the Minister for Zongos and Inner City Development, the Honorable Abubakar Siddiq Boniface. Chief, Assalam.
Wa alaikum salam.
How you doing, sir?
Alhamdulillah.
It's been like 3-4 months apart since our last chat. What has changed? The last time you were here, we were talking about funding, setting up the office completely and all of that. What has changed? Anything new?
Certainly. Some projects are going on, so it means some cash has come in. So far, much has been done. We've been able to pass the law. The fund, and at the same time, we've been able to get funds from the Ministry of Finance. The first quarter is come. We are initiating 51 projects in 41 communities. And so it tells you that the ministry is gradually taking off.
So I want us to pick a blow-by-blow account. What's happening in the case of the Zongos? The last time I remember you were talking about giving Nima a facelift. What is the latest on that particular one?
Well, come Saturday, we are launching our Clean Zongo based on our sanitation model, because the ministry is mandated in 4 thematic areas.
Right.
Like I said previously, we have infrastructure and sanitation enhancement, social development, economic empowerment. We're talking of heritage preservation and cultural promotion, and security and crime control. Now, in the case of sanitation, I'm launching that beginning with Nima, and this will happen on Saturday.
Right.
And I'm not doing it alone, because the ministry is supposed to collaborate with various ministries. Ministry of Sanitation, Ministry of Local Government, Ministry of Environment, National Security, Ministry of Interior, and other stakeholders and service providers will be part of the exercise come Saturday.
Well, what is this particular thing supposed to cure? Because I had a recent documentary, Slums in the City, that's what we called it. The Nima Gata project, we spoke about it the other time. You said, well, plans were far advanced. I have not seen any improvement there, and people continue to dump rubbish on the sides of the gutter. What are we supposed to be curing?
First of all, don't misconstrue my role. That particular drain is beyond the budget of my ministry.
Right.
It's supposed
I'm
to
not asking for you to use your funds.
Yes. No, let me get it straight and let me get it, because people misconstrue. Because on several occasions, people have gone on air to say that, look, that drain is there, you have not come to complete it, forgetting that that is not my role.
I know it is not your role.
I have to collaborate with other ministries and pull them. I have taken the Minister for Roads and Highways. Currently, the contractor that was on site is no longer there, and you should understand.
That's the Brazilian, the current
Yes, exactly. And those arms of the drain were supposed to be roots. You see, the plan showed that the arms of the drain should have been converted into roots, and it's still on the drawing board. I believe if they complete the whole project,
do we know when this completion date is due?
Unfortunately, sitting here, I cannot tell you because it is not under my domain. It is under the domain of the Ministry of...
But what have they been telling you, Honorable?
Well,
the collaboration.
First of all, it's so important. The ministry is doing, the minister in particular is doing every effort to get the funds, to get the contractor back to site. It has to do with money, you know, and it's so important. So almost all the time when we meet, sometimes I'll call on him, and he's been so admissive, you know, and ever prepared to help.
So come Saturday when you launch the sanitation campaign, the boiler will still be there. What are we supposed to be curing?
Which boiler?
The boiler by the size of the Nima.
We are not going to leave it there. We are going to clear it. If you join me on Saturday, you see that we are going to start from that side. Yes.
I'll be happy to. I'm a sanitation person.
I'll be happy to see you there.
Okay.
Because on Saturday by 6 a.m. we'll be there, and we are starting from that angle.
Okay.
Moving towards the gutter.
Right.
Towards Paloma.
I see.
Because we are bringing in heavy equipment.
Okay.
And people. We getting people out to help, and it's not only the gutter, but within the community itself.
I see.
And this is the beginning, because we want, starting with Nima, we'll be moving to other Zongos later, and then replicate it to other regions. And then we'll come with a date where every day of that such month, we Zongos will come out and clean our community. It is an attitudinal change matter.
Attitudinal problem.
Yes.
I see.
And it's so important that we get them involved and then committed. It's not a matter of going to clean and then moving away, because that is why I'm calling for collaboration. And I have discussed that with the Ministry of Sanitation, Ministry of Local Government. At the end of the day, we have to call in volunteers, and the Ministry of Sanitation and Water should also come up. We'll be coming out, I hope, with sanitation guards, so that within the community.
Spoke about sanitation marshals.
Yes.
They are not yet at post?
Well, I'm not in charge.
Okay, but they're supposed to be working in tandem with you.
Yes, and that's what I'm telling you.
Do you know if they are at post?
We have some, but they are not enough.
Okay.
We had some. I remember somewhere in 2007, I inaugurated them, the first badge in Sunyani. And it was under the supervision of Ministry of Local Government.
We'll talk some more about that, Alaji. But let's cross over to the Ashanti region. My colleague Ibrahim Abubakar is standing by with some live feed from there. Ibrahim, take it over now.
Of the Zongo ministry. Now this ministry is supposed to bridge the development gap between Zongo communities and some major cities in the country. It's been 1 year down the line since the creation of the ministry, and we will be finding out from residents at Abuabo Zongo in the Ashanti region to find out from them whether after 1 year they've seen anything tangible with regards to development in their area. Good morning, boss.
Yeah, good morning, boss.
It's been 1 year down the line since the creation of the Zongo ministry. Has it met your expectation? Have you seen any development in your area?
Yeah, okay, it's not meeting our expectation, but we hope in the near future it could be meeting our expectation. But I heard that it is the Zongo fund that they are using to clear the waterways for us. We are hoping that this will, we have seen that this is not going to solve our problem, because it's been about 2 weeks since they started the work. But you can still see the sun is still coming into the water. So we are hoping that another bridge which will help us more could be built. So that's, and that, here in Zongo, to be frank with you, we are having problem with our education, and we hope that this Zongo fund could help us solve this problem, especially among the youth.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me also speak to another resident here and find out from you. Good morning.
Good morning.
You've been a resident of Zongo for decades, especially here in Abuabo. What has been some of your main challenges?
Our main challenges, they doesn't do nothing, because they told us Zongo Foundation is on, but we never see nothing. Always they say they will come and do this bridge. Always they are lying, they can't do nothing.
What are you expecting from the Ministry of Zongo Ministry?
We are expecting to do such a improvement work, we need many things here. We are expecting many things. We are expecting to do the bridge, to do the gutter, to do everything, but we won't see nothing.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me also engage another resident and find out from you. 1 year Kegan create Zongo ministry. Kuna nang me challenges kuma sosai me kuma kuka ga an yi so far.
To gaskiya na gadin naji tun da aka kafa wannan Zongo ministry nan to ba mu dai ga ci gaban da aka muna nan ba. Shaida abin da muka gani an zo ana muna ga shi da batun kwashe kasa na gota. Kuma mu da muke zama nan wurin zaman mu kenan an yi ruwa kowane ruwa ka gani mu muna gani. Dokan mutanen da ruwa ke yi da ababa duka mu muna gani. Shaida mu mun complain batun birijin nan. Ta gane a fasa biriji a daga birijin sama. Da wannan mu muna gani yafi muna don gashi nan an zo wurin 1 week an zo ana kwashe kasa. Ko ba gane ba amma kasa na kwashe still kasa na zuwa domin saboda airport roundabout zuwa Moshi Zongo ba yi ba. Ce zabar kasan wurin nan ruwan nan ke zuwa da shi wanga wurin zamu muna ga dan ba an fasa birijin ba problem mun nan shi ne gwamnati ya ta bashi yawa bashin gwamnati ne da mu ba mu so yanda sannan da yara da ba su aiki yanda za ya samu su aiki ana yi don ga daidaita da yazo don muna gan dai wasu na da yawa ana shiga wasu barayi da yawa sun bari amma still dai muna neman a create wani abin da zai kawo Zongo ci gaba wani tramo wi nan duka ya je kasa ya ba mu.
Okay, thank you very much. What he's saying is that it's been 1 year but we've not seen enough development in their area apart from the desilting of this bridge which they highly commended even though they want the government to bring this bridge down and reconstruct a new one. They are saying despite the desilting, they keep on experiencing flood in this area. And another point you also raised has to do with youth unemployment in the area. He says most of the youth here are unemployed and most of them are now getting into drug abuse such as the use of tramadol. So he's saying that if the government does its best to generate employment, then it will reduce crime in the area. So in general, all that they are saying is that they've not seen much from the ministry and they are expecting that the ministry step up its effort in developing the Zongo communities. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3, Abu Abu.
And that's my colleague Ibrahim Abubakar out there in the Ashanti region, bringing us live reports there of what work the Ministry for Zongos and Inner City has been doing out there. 51 projects, 41 communities. Honorable, you got some good points there. Some criticized you. What's your initial impression?
Well, I like the way they have been so objective because if you don't get good critique, you will not be able to advance. First of all, I think we got there timely.
Right.
And for those people, like the reporting was being made, I think this report should have come about 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Now, what happened was that the whole place is fully silted. Right from Palili, where the guy was standing and talking.
Okay.
Now, if you go to Kumasi right now, the contractors are at airport roundabout, clearing. And you see, currently,
roundabout roads themselves have problems.
Exactly.
Potholes.
Apart from that, that is not my duty, but I have to call the attention of the Ministry of Roads and Highways.
Right.
Now, there's another big, all the drains, the main channel passes through Ababu. And most of the buildings along the drain are sinking.
Right.
Because it's soft soil there. And so, unfortunately, when they were constructing the drain, instead of going higher, they stopped at a certain level. I'm not surprised one of the interviewees was saying that they expect the bridge to be raised higher.
So the wall has to be elongated,
yes.
if you will.
But I believe even without that, the most important thing is probably to increase the abutments.
Okay.
The walls should be raised a bit higher, so that the sand will not get the opportunity
to get into the drain.
Okay, right. Secondly, if the opportunity is there and we have enough funds, on the sides of the drains, you could do some pavement blocks, such that the sand cannot go and flow into the drain again. It's so important. And the first week that the people, the contractors desilted the place, there was a heavy downpour.
Right.
Nobody experienced flooding in that area again because you see, sometimes, most of the times when it rains in this country, we easily experience flood. Right. And it is nothing. It's about siltation. There's so much sand in the drains. Like if you take
the Odo River.
Odo River right now, right from Circle, going towards the Odo, you realize that it's silted. Actually. Exactly, it's silted. So with a little downpour, then it flows its bank, and you believe that there's so much flooding. No, there's siltation. So little drop of water will bring it to the top. It happens in our water bodies. So we know
this. We have the ideas. Do we have the money to do it? Do we have the money to cure the situation?
We don't have the money right now, but I think the government, of which I'm part, will have to be bold, because there are certain initiatives you got to be bold and arrest the matter once and for all. But if you want to do it in pieces, you never achieve your
You met the president in his assessment of his ministers. Okay. What did he say to you?
Oh, that is between me and the president.
Was he happy about your work?
Well, I believe at the end of the day, the judgment lies before the president, but I believe the president has so much confidence in me. That is why he placed me in this ministry. But
was he happy about your work, that you have ideas, you have plans, there was no money? Was he excited?
This is what I'm saying. It's between the president has so much confidence in me.
But you're serving the people.
Yes.
Would you want the people to hear a bit of
No, the people, because whatever I had discussed with the president, I had sworn an oath. I swore an oath of an allegiance and an oath of secrecy. Right. So whatever discussions that goes between the president and I should not be told to the public.
But if you
are told by the president, then you can tell the public.
You're but for me, some of the
yes, that's what I'm implementing. This is what they should see.
Right.
That this is what president wants me to do, and I'm doing it. But the second thing, the president is ready to support me by instructing the Minister for Finance to do well to support me with funds.
Let's talk about education in the Zongos.
Yeah.
It's a critical matter.
Yes.
So I grew up closer to a Zongo myself, the Sabo Zongo.
Yes.
So I know Geskia and Sabugina and all those places. I know that there's a lot of makaranta, which happens over the weekends.
Yeah.
And then there's regular school. I know children who don't go to regular school, but they end up in a makaranta over the weekend.
Yeah.
Is that a thing you support?
I did sing when I was a kid. I went to school, went to makaranta. Sometimes we go after school in the night, we go to makaranta.
I'm talking about those who don't go to regular school, but they find time to go to makaranta during the weekend.
It started, it's something that has been with the Zongo community, with the Muslim community. But with time, Ghana is a secular country. With time, people are realizing the importance of education. Education does not necessarily mean English. You could do it in Arabic. But once it is understood, it's the mindset. Now, but the most important thing is that it helps when you go to the secular education. And so going to makaranta alone for me is not enough.
Right.
You need to go to the English school and also have both. And this is the experience I am gaining or you are seeing today. Like when they talk of Boko Haram, in Hausa means anything that is English or written is haram.
Boko Haram.
Yes, Boko means anything English is haram. You see how it is? So in actual fact, I believe that all these things came emerged out of poverty. Because in Nigeria, we know it's a very populous, about 150 million people.
Right.
And majority, let's say, about 70% are Muslims. But that does not mean that anything that happens by the government is haram. No.
Right.
Because the government, through the Boko, was able to construct roads. It's able to take oil from one side to the other end. You see how it is? It's built a lot of universities. It used to be about how many? 36 states.
Right.
Now it's gone beyond that.
Yeah.
So all these things is because they have sat down, they are lettered, and they've seen the importance of education.
How do we alleviate poverty in our case? Because poverty is rife in the Zongos.
Yes.
I wish we could play a bit of the Slums in the City documentary for Honorable to catch a glimpse of what it is out there. It is so real.
Good.
What's the plan?
The plan is that, first of all, let's give credit to the president. Why do I say so? Because all governments before independence, through independence to the emergence of His Excellency the President Akufo-Addo, all have cheated the Zongo communities. They have always seen Zongo communities as a transit point because of the name Zongo. You see how it is?
That's the definition.
That's the definition of Zongo, because our forefathers, our great-grandfathers who came in the initial stages had no intention to stay.
Okay.
You see how it is? It was like they were traders and also propagators of Islam.
Right.
So in coming to sell their wares, or after trading, they stay a while, take their monies, and they go. At the same time, that's why they were at the outskirts of town.
Right.
Today, every Zongo is in the heart, in the central heart of town.
That's true.
Because if you take places like Adabraka,
right,
Makola, Makola, you are a guy, you can tell best.
Makola.
Me, Makola, I'm going to fetch fire.
Yeah.
They were butchers. And that was where they used to, how do you call it, burn or roast the head.
Yeah.
Yes. You see how it is. And so at the end of the day, the Ghan woman will say, me Makola, I'm going to fetch fire.
Me Makola. Yeah.
You see how it is. Today, that is how come Makola is there.
Right.
Tudu is a hilltop.
Right.
And Tudu, Adabraka gave birth to Nima. Nima gave birth to Ruga. These were people who were rearing cattle.
Right.
So if you go to Ruga right now, you find that people rear sheep, goats, and cows.
Even at Nima.
And Nima gave birth to Medina.
Okay.
Most of this, all I've always said, trace their roots to Salaga. The umbilical cord of all Zongus in Ghana is Salaga.
Right.
But the emergence of the Zongus were three. You have Gambaga, you have Yagaba Kubore, and Salaga. But the stars of Gambaga and Yagaba Kubore dimmed, and that of Salaga shot up.
Okay.
And the only Zongo in Ghana today that Salaga never gave birth to and will never give birth to is Krachi.
Wow.
Yes, because Krachi and Salaga are twin towns because of two eminent sheikhs. That's for Salaga we have Malang Alasan, and for Krachi we have Malang Mo.
So the history is beautiful.
In looking at it, the president realized if you trace the root, the genesis and the history of Zongus, you come to see that it's become more or less an area for poverty, disease, illiteracy, and unemployment. But you see, if we leave it that way, it's going to build emotions.
What's your plan?
Yeah, I'm coming to that point, why the president has created that ministry. So in other, you see, emotions, when they build to a certain point and get to the limit, they will explode. And when it explodes, it becomes dangerous for the community. And that is exactly what has happened in Nigeria. Boko Haram is not a religious matter. I'm telling you today. Boko Haram was in existence in 1903.
Okay.
Then came a man who saw their vulnerability called Metasine.
Okay.
He used them. And when he died, politicians took advantage. And so, you see, when you take advantage and use them, they know what you are getting. If they don't get jobs, they'll fight back.
Right.
And so they realize that, oh, one will also come together and form our team. One day we can also come. So they were hiding under the cover of religion. And you see the passion that people have for religion. So people began gradually following their steps. Others bought in immediately, but only to realize that it was dangerous and disastrous and had to pull out. But today, as we speak, it is not easy.
So what is the plan? You have not told me.
Yes, I'm coming.
We've gone on for 6 minutes. We don't have a lot of time.
No problem.
So, sorry about that,
it's
sir.
better for me to put down the real foundation before we take off. You know, and so president, in examining all these things and seeing the danger, says, look, all Zongus in this country have been relegated to the background. And the Zongus, our great-grandfathers, played a very critical role in seeking independence for this country.
That's not a doubt.
Exactly. So there's the need to pay dividend to the Zongo community. And don't forget, the most important thing is that Ghana is moved from a low-income economy to a low-middle-income economy. But if somebody steps foot on the soils of Ghana today in Accra, and you send him to Nima, you send him to Sabo Zongo, you send him to Shukura, he will ask you whether he's part of Ghana. So development must be fully integrated.
Okay.
And so in that instance, I ask you today, you grew up at close to Sabon Zongo. Is that not it?
Right.
Take the case of Nima. You were talking about education. Do you know that the whole of Nima is, I call it ECOWAS town.
Okay.
There's no SHS in the whole of Nima. Look at the population there. But Nima has no SHS. Why? Ask yourself, why? So then we ask ourselves, we want them educated. Why don't you give them SHS? It's so important.
Someone would argue they could share with Accra girls and St. Thomas
Accra girls.
St. Thomas
You said Accra girls.
And St. Thomas Aquinas.
Let's be honest with ourselves. Let's be honest. Accra girls, how many girls from Nima will be admitted in Accra girls?
If they qualify, they will be.
That's what you are saying. Let me tell you, there's somebody who might get 5 Ds.
Okay.
And somebody will get 7 A's. But the one with 5 D's in Nima will be far, far better than the fellow who got 7 A's from an elite, similarly elite community.
Okay.
But it's a matter of giving that fellow the opportunity.
Okay.
But it is not there.
We will roll a bit of the slums in the city as we have the conversation, so you can get to catch a glimpse. But so in the matter of alleviation of poverty, I'm very interested in.
I'll give you
the announcement of your ministry and your ministership. A lot of people thought that, well, whatever money will come to you will be for them. Then you came out to tell them the money is not for funerals and outdoorings and all of that.
Yes.
So that's clear.
Good.
But the last time I checked from some of the Zongos, they were talking about how they can be helped to rise above poverty.
Good.
What is the specific plan? So from now to maybe December, maybe the end of your tenure as minister, what are we to see? What are you promising?
Yeah. First of all, I have dealt with these programs you're talking about. Now, it is so important that the fact that we've been given a ministry for Zongo, we have our mandate. What you're talking about falls under what we call economic empowerment.
Right.
It's one of the mandates.
One of the themes.
The themes, thematic areas where we want to focus. As I speak to you now, we are coming out, we are rolling out a program. In May, we are launching it, where we've even written letters to the municipal assemblies, district assemblies, to bring in with MPs, to bring in some names from the community. So if you ask the assemblies...
So that's Nima and Mamobi, the bridge there, and it's become a walkway.
Yeah.
That's Maestro there showing us the extent to which the filth is taking over the place. But Honorable, your manifesto talked about supporting local enterprises within the Zongos.
This is what we want to do. You see, the fact that you said it doesn't mean that you take off. If you don't build a foundation, how do you take off? So what we want to do in the initial stages, we are carrying out a pilot program of the economic empowerment. We are mixing them, women and men, and we are connecting them to a bank that will be supporting with some funds. At the same time, we want to help you based on your background, the kind of business, or if you don't have a business, what you think you can do. We can help you build a business plan.
There's a fear, growing concern that these monies may end up with party faithfuls and people who are sympathetic towards the MPP, as we have seen in the past, not with MPP, but
well, in the past with
some political.
But let me tell you that I ruled out the youth employment, and in ruling out the youth employment, my colleagues in Parliament who attest to this fact, both MPP and DC. I don't engage people based on their political affiliations. I engage you based on your potential.
Right.
And in getting people employed or engaged, I make sure that you were taken to a particular place based on your background.
Right.
If you did accounting or finance, I make sure you were taken to a place like Controller and Accountant General's Department, Audit, IRS,
related fields.
Related fields, that's internship. So that by the time you finish your 2-year attachment.
Right.
You have gained experience, and so when there's any advert looking for people with experience, it begins from 3 years to 5 years. You've done your national service. You've done 2 years attachment.
Right.
You have
You
3
are
years
qualified.
experience.
Right.
You are qualified. Most of them today are in higher positions. Sometimes you'll be walking and somebody will meet you, say hi. Do you know me? No. You helped me to get to this position.
Wow.
You should be proud and happy about that.
Absolutely.
That day I sleep very well. So these are some of the things that we intend doing.
Okay.
We intend, because we want to create some incubators, get people well trained,
Right.
get masterships, and then we get the apprentices, and then we get them trained by
One
these
district,
masters.
one factory
And
is a flagship program of this
Yeah.
government. The folks in the Zongo say, look, if it comes, it will help us.
Yeah.
We will be happy to work in it.
Sure.
What is the plan for the Zongos? For example, Nima Mamobi, Madina Zongo.
Good.
Are we thinking about the factories to
yes,
put up there?
Yes. Currently, let me give you, for example, in Medina, I've identified about 4 particular companies that
Okay.
should be supported.
Okay.
I have one that is into abattoir, Jifanko. I have another person around Oyarifa
Okay.
who is into block tile factory. We have another person groups of persons,
Okay.
because they are in Damfa and they are into kente weaving. These people have recommended them for support.
Okay.
So you see, when
what about Asawasi Zongo?
Asawasi, for
They
example,
say they are the headquarters.
but they have this hide factory there.
Okay.
And I think it's one of the projects I want government to look at carefully, because in treating those hides, it is good for shoes and belts and yes, leather wear is so important. So it is a particular area. We call it Majima. In Hausa.
Okay.
Majima. I grew up in that area.
Okay.
You see, so it is so important that in Zongo communities, if we have such outstanding factories in those areas, it will help. But it does not necessarily mean citing it there.
In the community.
Honorable, it's so important.
So you will have, by the close of 2020, executed your job if you are not swapped. I hope you don't get swapped, because I think you're doing a fine job.
Thank you.
What promise are you making that by 2020, what can we measure you by? Just one promise that you want to make to us and the people of Ghana.
I want to have made sure that by the end of 2020, I will have impacted in the lives of the people in the Zongo communities. Be it schools, be it libraries, clinics.
Okay.
I met some group of people. I was giving them a talk, and I told them that, look, if you did a proper analysis, the rate of death amongst Muslim women in the Zongo communities is higher than the Christian women.
Wow.
Yes, the reason being that per the religion, the women find it difficult to check themselves in the general hospital to be examined by a man.
Right.
But if you have clinics around the Zongo communities and you have a lot of female nurses,
doctors,
they will feel comfortable
wow,
going to check themselves in to be examined. If it is beyond the levels of the nurses, they've already examined, they will send the what do you call the examination to the male doctor to do the necessary prescriptions. But you see, unfortunately, because we don't have sightings around, you check, they rely mostly on self-medication.
And that's dangerous.
And that's dangerous. So I believe that is one of the areas I need to put much emphasis and also encourage a lot of the young girls within the communities to go read nursing. We'll support them. That is the essence of the Zongo Development Fund, to support education. So part of it will be used to support the younger ones in their education.
Right.
As I speak, 2 days ago, there was a young boy, a Zongo boy, who for the past 5 years, he got 5 A's, 3 B's. And for 5 years, he's been sitting home.
Why?
Parents can't help, and he has nobody to help him. So somebody just told him, you manage and go and see the minister. When I saw I asked him what he wanted. He said, oh, he came to see me. He's finished this school for the past 5 years. Nobody's there to help him. I said, how? With this resource? Instantly, I gave him money. Say he should go and buy forms. Legon and Tech. We'll make sure that whatever we can do to get him admitted. Because you can't have this resource. By now, there may be somebody who got D's. This man with A's is sitting home. The man with D's has a good family. He's in the university.
I share the story of Kwesi Haywood, a very fantastic artist.
Yes.
He walked up to me here. Good grades. There's no money at home. So maybe you should consider Kwesi Haywood as well. But
no problem.
Finally, as we wrap up, Honorable, there was a talk about building hostels at Nima. What's the latest on that?
Well, that one, let me be honest with you, is a long-term project. You don't just mention and start building, because you need to negotiate with the people, secure land somewhere, have arrangement with them, because you are going to stand in between, more or less as a mediator. The landowner is here, the investor is here. You going to guarantee. And when that exercise is done, and done well, then they vacate the place. Now, a whole plot of land, let's say 1 acre being occupied by 200 people, will now be occupied by over 1,000, because the field is going to build.
At what stage are we now?
Well, we are seriously high in the discussions with various investors who have been coming to us. We've had some Chinese investors who have come, but we want to get the landlords, have a meeting with them before we take it up to another level. Because you must make sure that every landlord in that area agrees. Let's say if I get about 10 landlords within one particular area who agree, then we can have the investor will have a proper discussion. If you come to a better conclusion, then you have the agreement signed.
You can have a unit there.
Yes. Once the units begin to rise, people in other areas will also fall into that attraction. You see, so it is so important that we do it and do it well.
I hear there's a certain sentimental value with the land at Nima, so people don't want to leave. Have you heard it too?
Well, yes, I know. But the point is that at the end of the day, let's say 30, 50 years, the land still belongs to you. So even if you are staying far away, you can always come and watch and see that your building is still...
Honorable, I thank you very much. Well, this is from Rabbi Odami Ansan. He's the boss at Marriage Clinic. It says, "Hi, Johnny. What he's saying is true. He does not engage people based on political affiliation. Currently, he has done it. Someone who is known very well to be on the other side, but has been engaged by Honorable Siddiq. So that's a feather in your cap. Congratulations.
Thank you,
and keep it up, Honorable.
Thank you.
I thank you very much, and I wish you well.
Thank you. So always support me.
Absolutely.
I'll be going on inspection, so you come.
No, I will come. I will come with you.
Yeah.
I will wear my boots.
Good.
Do you wear boots when you go out?
Yes.
Because I wear Wellington boots.
I do so.
And so we'll go out.
Oh, good.
I stepped actually into the Nima Gata, the lowest
I'll
point.
be stepping in on Saturday.
Yes, so we'll do it together. Yeah, and we'll eat towards our
I call all members, people from Nima should voluntarily come out. This is for their health. And you see, we're talking about poverty. Indirectly, you are going to reduce poverty by cleaning the area. Because once you clear the area of filth, you are reducing the presence of mosquitoes. So the money you use to buy malaria drugs will be used for something better.
I agree. And on that note, we'll take a break here. We'll return to wrap up the show here on New Day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.